Hello and welcome to this evening's webinar on the topic 3 mistakes new amigurumi designers make. I'm super excited that you are here today together with me. And yeah, I can't wait to get started. So let's jump to it. And if you have any questions during this evening, let me know in the chat. I will pop it open that I can see what you are writing. Let me know where you are tuning in from today. I'm tuning in from Helsinki. It is 9 p.m. today here. I know that some of you are tuning in from US, so I bet your time is a little bit different there. It's probably a little bit lighter outside, for example. So let's get started. I'm just gonna pop this down here. This is me and trying to use Zoom properly. I'm very used to using YouTube and YouTube streams nowadays, but Zoom is still a little bit fiddly in my taste. And yeah, hi Nina from Esbo. We are not that far away from each other. Hi Sydney from Utah, and hi Monique from Netherlands. Well, pretty spread around the world here. Okay, so in this webinar, I'm going to reveal 3 big mistakes new amigurumi designers make so that you don't have to make them, leaving you inspired and confident designing your next amigurumi. And I need to move around a little bit. Can't see my notes. If you stay with me until the end and decide to work with me as you go on this amigurumi design journey, I'll give you the opportunity to get your hands on a special bonus I just added to my program that is open right now. I'll give you all the details at the end of this webinar. But first, turn off all distractions. This can mean your partner, your dog, your kids, your phone, of course. Close the doors, take a pen and paper so that you can write down some notes and stay really focused with me here during this hour. And I'm super duper sure that you will get a lot of handy information that you can take action on later. So I'm going to start by introducing an exercise for you. This is a 20-minute brainstorm party. First thing you need to do is to grab a paper and your favorite pen. The second thing is to choose a theme. Thirdly, set a timer for 10 minutes max. Play really good music, your favorite, whether it's hardcore metallic music or musicals. Fourth, go bananas. Write down everything that you can think about regarding your theme. From there, take 10 minutes and your favorite idea and draw your idea onto paper. Nothing fancy, just a quick sketch. What colors would your amigurumi have? What yarns would you make it in? What shapes do you need to make and to form your amigurumi? Yeah, there's a lot of questions that can be helped through making a sketch. And you, my friend, will officially have your first draft of your amigurumi design, which will fast track your amigurumi design process. And I'm all about partying, so even though it's the small thing that counts. So you might be here for different reasons today, but I want to assure you that you're in the right place if reason number 1, you're excited about crocheting amigurumi and want to take your hobby to the next level. Or maybe this is you. You can't find the perfect amigurumi pattern for a design you have in mind, so you want to make it yourself. Or this might be you. You're intrigued by the idea to design your own unique amigurumi patterns and share them with the world. Tell me in the comments, which one are you? Are you the first one, excited to take your hobby to the next level? Second, you want to take action on an idea that you have? Or third, intrigued by the sharing your own designs with the world? Are you 1, 2, 3, or are you all of them? Let me know. Monique says 3. You're in the right place. Polar, all of them, perfect. Elodie, 3, but all of them, 3 especially. Ana Rosa, the first one. Nina, the first one. Well, I don't need to kick anyone out then. It sounds like you're in the right place. So, whatever your motivation for being here right now, I just want you to know that I fully support you. So if I'm new to any of you, I'm Veronica. I'm a full-time crochet designer, mostly specialized in amigurumi, of course. Live in Helsinki, Finland with my boyfriend Lucas and our very fluffy dog Safran. I have a master's degree in teaching crafts. The second picture is from a workshop me and my friend hosted during my studies. It was a yarn bombing workshop where we covered an entire bicycle with yarn. It looked amazing, and I'm a little bit sad that I didn't bring it home because it really looked amazing. But I have pictures on it though. I'm also a business owner and have my own web shop as well as an Etsy and Ravelry. I also spend a lot of time over on YouTube, both creating content and watching others. But here is what I really want you to know. So I have designed over 70 amigurumi patterns, and I know what works and what doesn't work. So today I'm going to teach you 3 tips on how to design your unique amigurumis. And the reason for that, as said, I've designed a lot. I have also over 8 years experience in designing crochet patterns and a master's degree in teaching crafts. So when it comes to knowing and designing and knowing what works and what doesn't work, yeah, I have some thoughts about that. And that is why I'm excited to be here together with you and get to share my knowledge with you. So this is why I design amigurumi patterns. I get to be creative and share my designs with the world and my amazing community. And I get money for doing something that I really, really love. Okay, can you imagine what it would feel like if you would design amigurumi patterns that your followers would love to make? Give me a yes in the comments. Monique, yes. I'm taking a water break. Remember to stay hydrated, guys. Okay, designing amigurumi patterns is a fun and creative way to share your unique ideas with the world and generate passive income. Let me explain quickly what passive income is. So if you have a business model where you crochet finished items, a toy, for example, that is non-passive income because you need to make that toy over and over again for each new customer. But when you design and write a pattern that is a digital product, you only need to crochet and write the pattern once. But you can sell it to multiple customers, but it's still the same work. Nothing is 100% passive. You still need to market yourself. but it's definitely more passive than making physical products. So I hope you get the idea of what passive income is. So let me walk you through a little bit where we are going tonight. So I'm gonna walk you through 3 mistakes that new amigurumi designers tend to make. And if you like what you learned and you like to work with me, I will tell you about how to do that. And at the end, we're going to do a live Q&A. So save your questions because I'm going to get to as many as I can at the very end. We are jumping right to it. Here is mistake number 1. Following only amigurumi related accounts on Instagram. I did this a lot in the beginning and it's very common, and it's also it's not difficult to understand why you would follow a lot of amigurumi designers, for example, on Instagram. The thing is, when you start designing your own stuff, it can be very hard to not compare yourself with someone else. And when you are just starting out, you're at level 1, but you don't know at what level these other designers are. And it's very easy to start comparing your level 1 to someone's level 99, for example. And that's not unfair for you. So I have some ideas on what you can do instead. Find your own inspiration source, somewhere outside the amigurumi niche over on Instagram. This doesn't mean that you don't get inspired by people over on Instagram. I just mean that step outside your box a little bit. Follow other creative accounts that you like. You might be into cross stitching or pottery or painting or people hiking or animal accounts. Go there instead. I bet you will not compare yourself in the same matter to those creators than you would if you would only follow amigurumi designers. Okay, your turn. Jump in the comments and share with me one thing that inspires you. I love, for example, spending a lot of time on Pinterest. I love art. I love digital art. I love illustrations, especially from kids' books. So all of that stuff is really inspiring for me. I also love vintage and especially retro things and like that kind of style. So that is really inspiring me. I love music. I love to watch movies and new series and play games. So there is a lot of things outside other amigurumi, because amigurumi inspires me as well. But I'm trying to pick my inspiration from other places because I'm really scared. This is me being honest, to subconsciously copying someone else. That is one of my things that I'm scared of. And if I only watch amigurumi designers and what they do, it's very easy to get a little bit maybe too much inspiration and don't figure out what you like and what style you want to have on your amigurumi. And we are going to talk that so much inside my course on how to find your own style, because that is so important. Hello from Switzerland, Barbara. Hi. Polar, I love cross stitch crafts that I can find on Pinterest, but also love ceramics and fashion competition from India. They have amazing ideas for costumes and clothes. It sounds like you have a good list of where you can find inspiration for your own amigurumis and designs. Okay, let's jump into the second thing amigurumi designers tend to do, especially new ones. Monique, I love Japanese cartoon characters. Yeah, me too. They are so cute. Nina, diamond paintings. Barbara, I like children drawings, abstract things. Yeah, that can be a very creative way to find new inspiration for new toys. I have a niece and a nephew, and they think outside my box sometimes when creating. So I love to ask them for ideas as well. Okay, let's move forward. I love when you are active in the chat, so thank you so much. No, come on. This is me being into gaming too much when I try to move forward with the D. If you know, you know. Mistake number 2, not developing your own style. As I touched on previously, we're going to talk more about this. So here is what you can do instead. Try out different styles and choose one that you like. There are so many different amigurumi styles. Also something that I talk about inside the course. There are teeny tiny amigurumis. There are big chunky amigurumis. There are anatomically correct amigurumis. There are cartoonish colorful amigurumis like mine. There are more earthy, very Scandinavian style amigurumis. There are really crazy, weird space amigurumis. I mean, there are something for everyone, and you just need to figure out what kind of amigurumis you're into and you want to make. Second, choose a color scheme and stick to it. This will help your amigurumis look cohesive and as they belong together as a group. And this is really important, as well as having your own style. And thirdly, give it a character. Me and my students never make only a bear. We make a character. We give it personality, we give it a name, we give it accessories, because this, my friend, will make it stand out from the crowd of generic bears out there. Okay, it's your turn again. Jump in the comments and share with me a color scheme that you like. Is it bright, pastel, natural, earthy? Maybe you're a black and white type of person. Or, yeah, let me know. If you would pick one, what kind of amigurumis and color scheme would you like to make? Diana says from the previous thing that she gets inspired by arts, comic, nature, TV shows, music, cookings are some of the things I love. Eloide, I love almost all crafts. I love imagine and creative. I love aquarelle and linocut. No, no worries. Excuse my English. And creates society games. Nice. Here comes some of your preferred color schemes. Goal says bright, Nina natural, Ana Rosa pastel, Diana contrast colors. That's a good one. I like that too. For example, mixing purple with yellow or red with green and so on. Monique, pastel, not too many different colors, keeping it simple. Yes, that is your thing. Lean into it. Sydney, I have several designs and I apparently like to make food and birds. Well, that's then your thing. Polar, it's hard to choose, but I think I love to keep it simple with not so bright colors. Yes, you don't need to have everything figured out. You can try and see what works for you, and it's allowed to change. You're allowed to change. Any bright colors, Elodie, it depends on days. Most time natural, sometimes I want bright colors. Barbara, pastels with some bright bits in it. Lovely. Okay, we are arriving at our last mistakes new amigurumi designers tend to make. Letting fear keep you from designing. What if nobody likes it? What if I copy someone subconsciously? What if there's an error in the pattern that I missed? All of these things can make you not wanna step your toes into designing. But I have some helping mindset tips for you when these kinds of fears are knocking on your door. The first thing, what if nobody likes it? I have a solution for that. Believe me or not, validate your design. Ask in your community. You can, for example, have a sketch on your design and be like, hi, make a Instagram short story, for example. Is anyone interested to see me crochet this? Or would you like to have the pattern on this? And just a yes and no poll, easy as that. You will pretty surely quickly see if there is any interest in what you're making. You can also have 2 different amigurumis and ask, would you like me to make patterns for this design or this design? And that way you don't spend time on something that nobody wants to make. And we want to save time for things that people will buy and will want to make. Second, what if I copy someone subconsciously? This is something that I have been very scared of, and I'm working with it daily. My best tips is to find your own inspiration source, unfollow people that make you compare your work to theirs, because that will only bring you down. And yeah, do it anyways. I know it's hard to hear, but do it anyways. The third, what if there is an error in the pattern that I've missed? This is something, it's always really, really scary to put out something that you have poured your soul and heart into, which we do with our patterns. And we are only humans. And even though we pattern test our patterns, they are also only humans and there might be mistakes. But the great thing is that you can update your pattern and it's okay. It's okay. It's totally gonna be fine. I've done this. Many of my colleagues have also done this. And you just update the pattern and send it out again and it's fine. So don't stress about this too much. We all have some kind of typos in our work because it's text-based and it's really, 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 really hard to pinpoint each tiny thing. So if that gives you some comfort, yeah, as I said before, do it anyways. Okay, jump in the comments and share with me one fear that you have. I already told you that I'm very afraid of subconsciously copying someone else. I really worked with my mindset regarding this because especially around that there is only amigurumi is made out of one stitch and there is just one way of making a circle, for example, and one way of making a tube and a square. So there is some limits and there will be possibilities that some of your elements is dissimilar than in someone else's design as well. But trying to find inspiration from stuff around you instead of only social media will definitely help. And also creating more than just a bunny, giving it a name, giving it a personality, giving it some clothing piece or a backpack or a hat that will also decrease the chance of that you're subconsciously copying someone else, because the simpler the pattern design is, the more likely someone else has made something similar. So yeah, keep that in mind. Okay. Barbara, do you always use single crochets yarn over or under with amigurumi or other stitches as well? Usually I do the V stitch. I do the V stitch, not the X stitch. That is just my preferred method, but there is you can choose whatever you like. And I mean, you can combine it other stitches as well if it just works in your design. The thing with the single crochets is that they are tight and they are square, so it's pretty easy to calculate, and they are tight so the stuffing doesn't poke out. So I think that is why most amigurumis are made from single crochets. Polar, for me, the most scary thing is that I'm not be able to make something that will represent my style and people won't be recognizing my work. Like, you look at the picture of many amigurumi and you can see that one special detail that gives you clue. Okay, it's your design, it's not your work. Your first amigurumis will not look unique and will not represent your style. My first amigurumi was, or like design pattern I put up, was tiny blueberries. And I bet if someone would see it, they would never know it would be my design. Also, my most successful pattern, free pattern, which is the strawberries, that is also not a representation of my style. It's my amigurumi animals with the happy eyes. So remember that everything you do won't be representative of your style, but the earlier you start figuring it out, the earlier you get to that point that you really know what you like and what you want to make. It took me a really long time before I realized that I need to start figuring out what kind of style I want on my amigurumis. So I had a really scattered style in the beginning. I did a lot of snuggle toys for babies in the beginning in pastel colors, which is like, and it's like a granny square, like a body thing. So yeah, just begin, lean into that. The more you make, the more you design, the sooner you will get to that point. But you will not be in the beginning. So don't compare yourself when you're at level 1 to someone that has done this for several years and designed and produced patterns for 5-10 years already and knows their style. So yeah, stay in your own lane. We have all our own lane and just need to follow that one. I hope it helped. Barbara, thanks. Eloida, I always have a huge imposter syndrome, and also I don't have enough time. So to me, it seems to be a mountain. One tip I can get, I also have imposter syndrome. I don't think it never goes away, but it's something that we need to work with, and we need to just push ourselves and do it anyways. I used to think that there are two kinds of people. There are the creative ones, and then there are the consumer ones, and try and pick to which category you want to be in. I mean, you can be both. I also consume stuff, but I'm more of a creative, and I love creative things, and I couldn't imagine how it would be if I wouldn't do it. And all the fears that I have is like, if I don't push it up, the option to not publish something or not crochet something, it's not really there for me. But yeah, don't compare yourself to others. If you have people that increases your imposter syndrome on social media, for example, unsubscribe it. I don't take offense if you unsubscribe from me. I want you to have a healthy mindset and take care of yourself. So do it if it's needed. And regarding that, having not that many time, not so much time, try and schedule it. If it's 20 minutes a week, or if it's an hour that you can squeeze in somewhere, try to schedule it in your calendar and do what you can during that time, and let it take time. Some people have plenty of time to design and do it as a full-time job, as me, but I understand. I also started doing this while I studied, and I didn't have my whole week. And I've also done this with a full-time job. And then I tried to squeeze in like an hour here or there. And yeah, do the things that you really like. Usually you try and find time for stuff that you really like. So if it's something that you are really passionate about, I believe that you can find it. Diana, another fear I have is that others will steal the designs, which for me takes all the joy out of designing crochet patterns and influence me in not writing the patterns. This is something that has been discussed a lot in the crochet designing community recently. I feel like it's an ongoing discussion as well. And I totally understand. And this is such a valid feeling, because as I said, you're putting your heart and your soul into these patterns, and it's heartbreaking when people steal from you. The one thing though that I'm working on a lot with myself and my mindset is, if I don't do it, it feels like those people who are stealing are winning. And that makes me more angry than the fact that they are stealing. So I think that is what keeps me going. I also know for a fact that you will always be one step further than everybody who steals. You will have, because they can't read your mind. And they will never be successful. For usually you as a designer is such a big part of the design and the company. So they can never be you. I understand it's heartbreaking, but I hope that it will still be some kind of encouragement to not stop, because I think also a way of continuously designing and pushing out new things. Yeah, that is how we defeat them. Does that make sense, even? I also am very certain that my community and my followers and the people that buy my patterns are not the people that buys from those sites that have stolen a lot of patterns. So that is also something to think about, to nourish and take care of your community and believing them as well, because they have your back. They have your back. Barbara, it is really important that you keep all your steps, like pictures, etc., mistakes that you can make and corrections. Yeah, in a folder or a notebook, wherever. Yes, keep your patterns stocked somewhere safe. Polar, thank you, Veronica. You shed light on these dark thoughts and designing amigos. That makes me so happy. I'm happy that I could help. Elodias, thanks, Diana. I will make that my new mantra and put it on my inspirational quote list. Yes. Yes, I need it as an embroidered cross stitch big what is it called? Wall hanging behind my computer. Okay, let's move forward. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, whether it's designing fruits, dragons, or sea animals, when creating a new design, it's not what you design that matters most. It's your willingness to believe in yourself and your abilities and to take yourself seriously? Give me a yes in the comments if this resonates with you. So, okay, we all know we have a lot of fears, but what if we could just delete them? What would you design if you could delete all your fears and just go for it? Do you have something already in mind? Is it a kid's idea that you want to make into reality? Is it your favorite cartoon character? Or is it something totally different, like a space unicorn or a volcano? And a lot of yes in the comments. Monique says, I would design a huge, cute animal like 1 meter high. I love it. You should definitely go for it. Oh, I'd love to see that. Polar, I want to design cuddly snake human size. We are really into big amigurumis. Love it. I hope my camera will not die. It has a little bit, not that much battery left. We'll see if it stays alive. Different, Barbara says different monsters that protect children. That's so great. That's like, yeah, what a great idea. Eloida, I'd like so much to do a slot, but I can't choose between realistic or funny one. Maybe you can combine it somehow. I mean, a realistic one can also be funny. I love to hear your ideas. You sounds like a very creative bunch of people, and I love it. Okay, this is my story, and I highly believe that you can achieve this too. So, I had a lot of fears when I started out. I still have them. I still work on them daily, as I've told you. I have the fear of subconsciously copying others, fear of making mistakes, and fear of not selling patterns. One of my biggest fears is publishing a pattern and selling zero. The funny thing is that it has happened. And I still go back and publish something new afterwards, which is a bit crazy, but I just can't stop. So, yeah, don't let these fears stand you in a way of over 70 published patterns, hosting crochet alongs for over 5,000 crocheters, over 10,000 supportive email and Instagram followers, over 2,000 sold patterns, and working full time as an amigurumi designer. So at this point, I have a question for you. Would you like me to help you design unique amigurumi patterns that you can confidently share with the world? Monique, would be nice. Love it. Polar, definitely. Well, my friends, then you have at this point two options. Option number one, you could try to design an amigurumi on your own without a plan, but you'll run the big risk of being in the same place this time next year with a big open loop and no published patterns. Or you can choose the second option. You can 100% commit to designing and creating your amigurumi patterns using a proven roadmap. If you're ready for option two, if you're ready to actually design your own unique amigurumis and share the patterns with the world, I would love to invite you to join me inside the Amigurumi Design Lab. Amigurumi Design Lab is the only course of its kind that not only shows you exactly how to transform a 2D drawing into a 3D amigurumi, but how to find your unique style and how to write clear patterns that you can confidently share with the world. So here is what you will put into action inside of the course. You get to discover your source of inspiration, choose your amigurumi style, design your own unique amigurumi, transform a 2D sketch into a 3D amigurumi, learn the ins and outs of 3D amigurumi shapes, discover the most important things about copyright, write down your pattern and take step-by-step pictures, learn about pattern testing, and share your pattern with the world. The course includes 4 modules. Module number 1 covers brainstorming and figuring out an amigurumi idea. The second module is all about designing your unique amigurumi. In module 3, you get to transform your 2D sketch into a 3D amigurumi. And in module 4, you get to write down the pattern for amigurumi. And after that, we have a pattern party. So this course with the 4 modules has a total value of $447. The program, the Complete Amigurumi Design Lab program, includes 4 training modules from designing to writing your own amigurumi pattern, but also videos, PDF guides, and templates to make the process as comfortable as possible for you. I have also added a bonus for you, and this is a 4-week of live Q&A session with me once a week inside a private Facebook group. This is an active and highly supportive Facebook community with fellow students and Veronica, me, myself, and I, to make sure you get unstuck in a matter of minutes instead of weeks. It's a space to overcome isolation and constantly refill your motivation tank by connecting with other amigurumi lovers who gets the journey because they are in the same course as you and are there to help you cross the finish line. And I'm also in the course. And during these live Q&A sessions, you have the possibility to pick my brain about everything and anything. This bonus has a value of $187. At this point, just so you know, I'm nothing special in any way. I don't have access to exclusive experts, technology, or resources. I just have a proven roadmap that I follow when I design my amigurumis and create my patterns. No, I do want you to know that I offer a money-back guarantee, but I'm only looking for serious action takers, so you need to show that you gave the program a try before requesting a refund. I do this because I'm not looking for tire kickers, but true go-getters that want to dive in and get results quickly. If you do the work and you're still not satisfied, show me your work within 14 days of getting module number 1, and I'll gladly give you a refund. So we have bonus number 1, which was a 4 weeks of live Q&A sessions with me to pick my brain about everything and anything about amigurumi and crocheting and designing and business and marketing and whatever you want to know and need to know inside a private members only Facebook group with the value of $187. And I've also added a second bonus for you, which is a photo workshop. It is a special training on how to take Instagram-worthy product photos of your amigurumi, where I'm going to walk you through my step-by-step photo process. You'll have this bonus forever, and it's valued at $147. And on top of the cake, I'm not stopping. I've also added 10 Pinterest templates for any of you that plan on publishing your patterns and need help with the Pinterest marketing. These templates I use myself. It takes me under 10 minutes to make 10 Pinterest pins, and I schedule them through Tailwind, and it's magical. And it's so easy and it's so quick, and it's a great part of marketing your new amigurumi patterns. That has a value of $47. So we are now up in a total value of $828, which is crazy. So I guess you're curious about what it costs, because I could charge you over $800 for this entire package. I could charge you over $800 because it's really, really good. It's so valuable. However, I also know that you're likely on a tight budget, and I want to make this as affordable as possible for you. So instead of charging over $800, you can get started today and join the September class of the Amigurumi Design Lab for only $297. Or to make it even easier for you, I have a 3-payment option, so you can get started today for only $117 and 2 additional installments of the same amount. So choose the option that works best for you, the 3-payment option or the 1-payment option. But the course and the bonuses are waiting for you, and I'm just gonna give you the link so you can go and sign up. This is me today. I'm not having anyone to work in my chat. Usually Lucas is here helping me out, but today I'm a one-woman show, so bear with me. Here is the link to the Amigurumi Design Lab. I can't wait to have you inside the course and get to know you more and follow along on your amigurumi design journey. To get your hands on this bonus that I talked about in the beginning, the only thing you need to do is to enroll in the course before we end this webinar. These templates are for Canva. I use Canva myself so much. I love it. One of these pattern templates is the actual pattern template that I use for my own patterns. I love it. Otherwise, I wouldn't use it. And the 2 others are in a bit of a different style that might be more of your... I have a very colorful style, so there is something for everyone. As you might know, it's really hard to start from a blank sheet of paper with something. And to have a template where there is already all the abbreviation. There is the copyright information. You just have to delete and put in your own names and your own company names. It's so easy to work with, and it's pretty at the end, which is also very important because we do digital stuff. So it also has to be pleasing for the eye to look at, in my opinion. Okay. Let's walk through some fears that you will overcome during this course. We have talked a lot about fears during this webinar, but it's good. We need to put them out there to face them, I think. And then we can put a sword through them. You'll overcome the fear of not having unique enough ideas, fear of subconsciously copying someone else's design, fear of the pattern writing overwhelm, fear of putting yourself out there, fear of messing up, fear of the math, and fear of not knowing what to do and how to do it. Amigurumi Design Lab is gonna bust through all these fears so they are no longer stopping you in your tracks. So as you saw, you find the link to the sign up page in the chat. You can take advantage right now of the 3 payment option plan if you want to, or choose the 1 payment option plan if that is more suitable for you. But either way, the online course, the Amigurumi Design Lab, is open right now. The door closes tomorrow. So yeah, it closes very, very, very soon. If that wasn't clear, sorry. And I'm really excited to start another September class. It's going to be so much fun. The last time I hosted this course was in February, and the makes my students did was amazing. We are going to walk through a couple of my students' work a little bit later as well. So, welcome to the Amigurumi Academy. I thought I would walk you through how it looks like when you click on that link that I published in the chat for you. So you come here. Your task is to click on the orange buy button if you want to sign up for the course, and then it will take you here. And this is a new thing with my Pudia website. So the first thing you need to do is to write in your email address. Then you need to go to your email, open the email that you got from me, and write in the verification code to verify your email address. Afterwards, you can put in your billing and your payment information, and also remember to choose the right payment option for yourself on the right side. Afterwards, it looks something like this. And you can click on the Start Course button, and it will take you to everything that is included in the course, also your bonuses. So this is how it will look. You will also have access here to the template bonus as well. So there should be 4 things available here right now for you. And the Amigurumi Design course is the core program that we're going to work through. And you also find the Amigurumi photo workshop and the templates. If you click on the start course, it will look like this, and it will take you to the first page of the course. So this looks very, very empty right now. And that is because this course is starting, is it 4th of September? It's a Monday, if I remember correctly. Next Monday, we will start. And I will drop each module once a week. So for 4 weeks, I will drop during the first week, the first module, second week, second module, third week, third module, and fourth, the fourth module. And after 4 weeks, you will have access to all the content inside the course. And after that, you can walk it through in whatever pace you like. I do this because I don't want to overwhelm you with all of the content inside the course. And I also want you to give you plenty of time to implement the lessons that is in this course. So that is why I do that. During these weeks, I will also have a live stream on Thursday where you can pick my brain inside of the Facebook group. And yeah, here is now the welcome video, a members only Facebook group, the link to the Facebook group. You just go there and I ask for your email address so I know that you're the right person that is supposed to come to the group, and a list of materials, and yeah, some good to know information before we start. So if you're ready to jump on your amigurumi design journey together with me in September, the course is open today, but closes tomorrow. So come and join the brand new class of September. Everything you need to know is in the chat and in the provided link. We are gonna jump into the Q&A session pretty soon, so stay with me. We're just gonna bust through some things before we start. So I'm not exactly sure why you showed up here today, but I have my guesses. You might be here for a specific reason. Maybe you feel stuck. You want to take your hobby to the next level, but you don't know where to start. Or you feel unconfident. You want to design amigurumi, but you don't know if you're talented enough or have enough knowledge. Let me tell you the stories about 3 of my students that came from the same place and mindset that you are right now. And yeah, what they managed to design and create with this course and with my help. So first we have Diana. Inside the course, I have a couple of exercises to spark the creativity that is very needed when you are designing amigurumi. One of them is a Frankenstein mashup challenge. It sounds crazy, and I can assure you it is. Diana designed a amigurumi that was created through this Frankenstein mashup, and she smashed together a deer and a chemist, and this is what she made. These are pictures from the Facebook group where we share the process together with each other, both the sketches, choosing the yarn, and also the finished amigurumi. She also says, thank you for all the things I learned at ADL. You find her as crochet. Oh, I don't know the term for that, but you see it, Jadina. Another student is called Hannah, and she also made a amigurumi with the help of this Frankenstein mashup challenge. She fused together a fruit. I think it was an orange. When I see the color, I believe it's orange. And a animal, which was a bat. And it turned out as a very cute and unique bat. And her work is adorable. And it was so fun to follow the entire journey from sketch, from not designed anything at all to a finished amigurumi. And she did also do the photo workshop, which you can see on her pictures because they look amazing. Then we also have Sanette. She also started her design journey with the Amigurumi Design Lab, and the first thing she did was make this chicken. And I'm so fascinated about these pictures because you can see from the first sketch to the finished edited photo, and the difference between a non-edited photo and an edited photo, and the difference is just remarkable. She also says, thanks, Veronica, for the amazing photo editing course too. And she has actually published this pattern. Afterwards, she has also published the patterns for the 2 amigurumis down in the corner. And yeah, she's still working as doing new amigurumi designs as well. Then we have the last one is Silla. Silla has also, after this course, released several patterns. During the course, she did a dingo librarian. I don't remember if this also was a mashup challenge, but if this was something that that she had like from the beginning as an idea. She says, I did Veronica Amigurumi Design Lab in 2021 when I was doubting myself and my process. It really helped with my confidence, and its design definitely suitable for brand new beginner designers too. So at this point, I can't tell exactly why you showed up here today, but I know that Amigurumi Design Lab can help you through some doubts and get you started on your amigurumi design journey. And might be the opportunity that you have been looking for but haven't found already. Now, if you haven't already signed up for the Amigurumi Design Lab, maybe you have some doubts. you're really excited for Amigurumi Design Lab, but you're thinking, I don't know if I have a good enough idea for an amigurumi design. Well, in in module 2, you'll learn how to make your amigurumi unique and how to validate your idea. Or maybe you're thinking, I don't know where to start and I might be overcomplicating things. Well, in the course, I'll share with you my step-by-step roadmap so you don't have to figure out all the steps by yourself. Or maybe this is something that you've been thinking about. I'm scared of subconsciously copying someone else. Or the thing we talked about earlier. What if someone copies me? We have touched on this earlier, but in the course, I will also do my best to help you overcome this fear. And we're going to talk about copyright in module number 4. So come and join me inside of the course with the other students. Can't wait to get started and watch you grow inside the course and create your own unique amigurumi and publish a pattern. I realized the other day that you are going to do all of this in only 4 weeks. So at the end of October, you could have a pattern in your hands. That's crazy. Not even I'm that productive most of the times. But this is what happens when you have a roadmap to follow and a step-by-step guide to guide you through everything. Okay, we are heading into the Q&A session. I'm gonna put on a timer. Okay, you have my permission to pick my brain about everything and anything regarding amigurumi design, the course, crochet, amigurumi, YouTube marketing. I don't know. What do you want to know? Let me know what's on your mind, and I will do my best to answer them. I'm gonna make the chat big on my screen so I can see your questions very clearly. Thank you, Nina, for being here. Monique, how long does it take you to make a design and pattern? This is a really hard question because if I could probably design a pattern in a week if I didn't do anything else. But in my business, I have so many other tasks that I also need to do. So usually it takes several, I try to keep it within a month. But right now I, for example, have 2 designs. I have a zebra and a koala in the making that I started, but they are like on pause right now. And I will probably pick them up when it's a little bit closer, like calmer period. It's a lot of stuff going on right now. So it's a really hard question. It also depends on the size. I mean, you could wrap up a small strawberry pattern, for example, in a day, probably. But if you want to make a life-size whale, it will take you a lot of time because you need to crochet it. So that's also weighs in. And you also need to give your testers some time to make it as well. So it usually, like my regular size amigurumis, like this size, whoa, like Happy the Monkey, for example, this might take me a couple of weeks just because I have my YouTube channel and I make my videos and everything else in between, crocheting and taking photos and finishing off and sewing everything together and sending it out to my testers. So yeah, sorry, it's hard to give you a really clear answer on that one. Polar, how often is the Amigurumi Design Lab in the year? It varies. The first year, I think I hosted 3 classes, the second year 2, and this year probably 2. The format of the course is gonna change a little bit, so I can't promise that you will get this course in this shape and format in the future. So if you are excited to join what I've been talking about here right now, I highly recommend you to jump on the course right now today. Ana Rosa, on average, how long does it take for your students from the start of your course to have a finished design? Usually they finish it during these 4 weeks. But I also have students that have made it during a couple of months, for example. It depends. Everybody is different and everybody has different life situations. So I encourage people to take it in their own time, but you will get most help from me if you do work through the lessons during that week and come to the live Q&A session, pick my brain, and I can help you out with questions and things that you're wondering about. If there isn't that many questions, we also have that hour to work together. So we have a kind of a co-working session. So yeah, that is, if you want the most out of the course, I would do it during these 4 weeks. But if you're really stressed and can't fit it into your schedule, you can do it later as well, because you have access to both the replays of the Q&A sessions, the Facebook group, and everything inside the course. Polar, after creating a new thing, do you ask for the opinions of others, or do you believe that what you created is good? It depends. Sometimes I have an idea in mind and I want to do it only for myself, and then I don't validate before with my community. I just make it, because if I have a zebra in my mind and I'm like, I want to do a zebra, I don't care if anyone wants to make it or not. But afterwards I can be like, hey, would you like to have a pattern on this, so that I know if it's worth my time to write down the pattern or not. Sometimes it is and sometimes it's not. Usually people are very interested and wants the pattern, so I usually end up making them. But yeah, I think it's good it's also a great way to keep your audience engaged with what you're planning on releasing and behind the scenes. So yeah, I love sharing the behind the scenes of my business in my Instagram stories, and a lot of what I'm making and working during my daily, a lot of breakfast pictures. if you know, you know. So yes and no. Depends on if I'm doing it for myself. I mean, it's always, I'm very encouraging to validate your ideas, but I also believe in doing and creating stuff for yourself. Elodie, do you have your pattern tested by crocheters before publishing them? Yes, I do. I didn't in the beginning, because I had no idea that testers existed, that testing was a thing. This is something that I've learned, and yeah, that is a part of my course now, because I think it's a really important thing, and I'm a bit sad that I didn't know about it when I started out. So that is also why I encourage new amigurumi designers to do it at the beginning and create your own little amazing testing hub. I have, I think, between 5 and 10 testers. It varies a little bit. It's better to have a little bit more, because every tester might not be able to test each and every pattern if you publish a lot. So yeah, I do. Let's see. Monique, do you translate your pattern into different languages? And how does that work for you? Translate yourself, hire someone, etc. Thank you for this question. So my mother tongue is Swedish. And in the beginning, I wrote my patterns in Swedish and translated them to English. Nowadays, I write them in English, because the terminology is easier for me in English nowadays. And then I actually translate them to my mother tongue, which is Swedish. I have had one person translate a pattern to Finnish for me, but I ended up, I think I published it, but I didn't move forward with that one just because I've discussed going into the Finnish market with a lot of people, and the conclusion is that the Finnish crocheting community is very, very small. So it's more, it's better use of my time to design new patterns instead of translating them to Finnish and then trying to go into the Finnish market and marketing in Finnish as well. But it's something that is still in my mind. We might see in the future. The English market is the biggest. So if you want to reach a big crochet community, I highly recommend you to start in English. But there are other big communities as well in Asia, for example, and in South America. So if you are Spanish speaking, for example, I've heard that the amigurumi community on the Spanish side is pretty huge. So yeah, see what works for you. If you know two languages like me, I would highly recommend you to use that knowledge of yours and do it and see what works. And nowadays my Swedish community isn't that big, but I have a couple that is steady followers from really, really, really the beginning. So yeah, you can do it yourself if you have the knowledge. You can outsource this. You can ask people in your community to help you out. Usually you have people with a huge language knowledge inside your community, so you can ask for help there as well. But yeah, it's up to you and what you like to do. On Instagram, I used to do posts on both Swedish and English. I've now several years ago decided just to do it in English because it's less work for me. And it's also less confusing for the algorithm. They also recommend on YouTube that you have your YouTube videos in only one language to just not confuse the internet. Hope that helped. Monique, no, that was the question I already answered. Polar, any tips of choosing colors for a project? How do you choose them? I've got a lot of questions regarding color recently, and I've been thinking if I should host a color theory workshop. Let me know if that would interest any of you. But if you know the color wheel, you can choose opposite color, for example. And yeah, I like to add like contrasting colors. I'm pretty visual, and for me is like a sixth sense or something. So I kind of see what kind of colors that matches together, but there are helpful tools available. For example, the color wheel. There is also the option to go on Pinterest and search for color schemes. And there you can find already like 5 different colors that work well together. And then you can scroll through them and see, well, that is something that I really like. And then you pick from them. So there is a lot of great tools as well. There is also a website available for color scheme making that you pick 1 or 2 colors and then it fills out the rest one. But now I don't really remember what it's called. But Google, there is a lot of things out there. And let me know if a color workshop would be of interest. Do you use inspirational books or something like that? Not really. I do know, or I think I know what you are thinking about. So there is these, for example, books with a different stitches. crochet stitches. I see I have a book now that is with crocheted flowers, for example, that you could take inspiration for. And I also know that there is big Bibles that have like immensely amount of crocheted stitches. And I would love to have one of those, but I haven't found one that wasn't in Finnish. So I'm a search for that one. But no, not really that much. I usually go to Pinterest and look up animals that I have in my head. And then I do some sketching and crocheting and a lot of frogging. Polar asks as well how to give amigurumi a character, how to bring it to life. This is something we go through pretty deeply inside of the course, but as a quick recap, start off with giving it a name. Then you can come up with a couple of questions. For example, does it have a favorite hobby? Does it have a workplace that it goes to every day, or does it just sit in the couch eating snacks? Or yeah, does it have a favorite candy? Those three things can help you make a really, really, really short story, for example, that you can use to give your character more life on Instagram, for example, when you share pictures of your character. I would say though that a name is the most important thing. Just don't call it a bear. That is just too boring. Give it a name and add a fun twist of some sort on it. And then you can also play with the twists. For example, I didn't know that Happy that Monkey would like to have a banana hat, but she did. So you can also build around it. If you need help, there is character sheets on the internet, which have already questions to build a character. I've played D&D in the past, so that is where I get a lot of my inspiration for the character as well. Yes, I'll be interested in a color workshop. Okay, you're the second person, so I'm gonna keep that in mind and see if we can figure something out that would be helpful for everybody. And Ana Rosa as well. Nice. I didn't even see that the clock went to 0. And we are only 20 minutes over, but we have been chatting about a lot of very important stuff today. So thank you so much for being here today. I'm gonna put it up there so you can see me. Thank you so much for spending this hour and almost a half together with me. The doors to the Amigurumi Design Lab is open until tomorrow, so you still have a night if you need to think about it a little bit, but I would love to see you inside of the September class. Otherwise, I'll see you around on social media and on Instagram and on YouTube and in the Facebook group. Have a really nice evening. Bye.